Hi everyone, we're here today to learn about wholesaling real estate, building a team, hiring and training virtual assistants. This is usually your first step in hiring a team. So I want to talk about core values. Core values are extremely important to set for your business before you start hiring. Core values, if you look into a book called Traction, which we're going to share next, it talks about different kinds of core values. So examples are honesty, loyalty, teamwork, team attitude. Like you don't want a rock star who's not a team player. They are a bad apple and they will reduce morale. They will actually reduce morale so much it will actually cost you money in the end keeping a rock star who thinks that they're so great that they don't actually have to be a part of the team. And you want a team kind of attitude, and then you go from there. Like, what else is it that you want them? Do you want them to have certain other kinds of values? Maybe they have certain family values that you want to add in there. You add your core values and you figure out what kind of people you're going to hire, and they should fit. It's not it's not an option to hire somebody outside of those core values. You may want them to have certain experience as well. Maybe they're a good salesperson, whatever it is. So Traction actually, like I said, does do a list of different kinds of core values so that you can pick from there and figure out what do you want each team member to have as a core value. This should be a core value for your entire business. Traction, Get a Grip on Your Business. It's by Gino Wickman. I'll just go ahead and read the summary about it. All entrepreneurs and business leaders face similar frustrations, personnel conflict, profit woes, and inadequate growth. Decisions never seem to get made, or once made, fail to be properly implemented. But there is a solution. It's not complicated or theoretical. Discovered by more than 80,000 companies, the entrepreneurial operating system is a practical method for achieving the business success you've always envisioned. And there are EOS managers and consultants that can help you out. Gary Sharp is one of them, of Sharper Business Consulting, and they help you get a grip on your business by using Traction. Traction's a great book to read through, and do the homework as you're reading through it. It'll take you some time, but it'll be completely worth it while building your business and before you hire anyone. The Eisenhower box. So this is, in wholesaling, there's a lot that can get your attention, and you're going to think that you need to do it right then and there. And there's going to be people who demand your attention right then and there. This is why it's going to be important to create boundaries. We do have a mindset module that you need to check out. It will help you with creating boundaries so that you can be more successful. So it's about what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. You're going to have these boxes here, important and urgent, do it now, like writing an article for today. Anything that produces in your business and brings production, that's what you're wanting to do. Not urgent, but important, you decide a time to schedule it. Exercising, calling families and friends, researching articles, long-term business strategy are some examples. Urgent, but not important, you delegate those. You find somebody who can do it for you. Who can you hire if you don't have that person yet? Like scheduling interviews, booking flights, approving comments, sharing certain emails, even pulling lists, sharing articles. You want to give that to like a VA or somebody else on your team. And then anything that's not urgent or important, eliminate it. Don't do it. Or do it whenever you have time off, like watching television, checking social media, sorting through junk mail. So let's talk about levels in your business. So you understand when to really make your first hire, and you know how to actually take the right levels and don't try to skip steps. I have noticed when people try to skip steps, later on they're brought back down to that step and they do still have to work it. It's just best to build the foundation properly before you try to go to the next step. Level 1, you're going to be doing everything. It's going to be a lot of work. You're a one-man show. You may even have a partner, but still, you guys are taking on all positions. This is good because this is where you can create training manuals and videos on what to do and decide what you really like doing and what areas you need to delegate. Level 2 is when you are making the decisions of the business, like doing the management, hiring, firing, training, deciding everything that's going on with business, but you delegate the labor. The labor would be the lead generation, sorting lists, skip tracing, acquisitions, dispositions, transaction coordination, but you're still making the decisions. Level 3 is when you delegate the decision making. Now you have a manager that's in charge of making the decisions for you, and this is when you can move on to another business. So let's talk about virtual assistants. What is a virtual assistant and what do they do? Well, they handle all types of tasks, ranging from admin to cold calling and locking up contracts. I used to have about 7 VAs that they did all of that, all the way up to even locking up the contracts. And then I even had them doing building buyers lists and doing some transaction coordination. Where to hire virtual assistants? Upwork and Fiverr. There's also third-party companies. There are people who have done wholesaling or worked a little bit in wholesaling and decided to start a virtual assistant company. Andrea Stakes and Antoine Campbell are 2 of those people. There's also other companies called like Rocket Station, and you'll see them advertised on Facebook as well in the investor groups and wholesaling groups. There's usually some kind of VA that's advertising their services. If you hire a VA directly through Upwork or Fiverr, you can get them at $3 an hour. If you use a third-party company, you will be upcharged to about $15 an hour, because they are training the VAs and they are managing them, and they usually fire them for you. What type of ad to post for the VAs? We're going to show you that. And what work are you needing them to do? I would start with admin work. Not really revenue yet. You want to keep yourself in control of revenue in the beginning, so your revenue is more consistent than trying to hand that away right away. I see some people try to hire an acquisitions manager right away, and I understand that, because you're like, my phone's ringing off the hook now that I have a lead manager or I've been doing these leads. But you want to keep control over that, even if you hire an acquisitions manager, until they are more consistent in bringing in the income as well. So admin is a little easier. At least they can do the lead generation side for you at first, and that would be pulling the list, sorting the list, skip tracing it, doing property research, and uploading it into your systems like a dialer or a list stacking program. You want to structure your ad for your needs and add your core values. You describe your company in 1 sentence. What are you? Look up elevator speeches if you need to on Google. We're not going to go much into that. Whenever you're doing the ad, you want to make sure you put the pay that you're offering. Sometimes VAs will say that they want $10 an hour on Upwork or Fiverr, but you can talk them down to $3 an hour. Some are even $7 a day. If you want to get $7 a day, you usually have to go to the country and actually get to know these VAs up front. And you can even create your own VA company along with a VA manager there that runs it while you're away. That's just another idea. Well, I don't want to go too far into that either. But you're not going to find one for $7 a day on Upwork or Fiverr. You do want to do training and make a video and create a manual. People learn differently. So if you create a training manual and you also have a video, you're going to cover a lot of ways that most people learn. You want to do a weekly training, and you also want to listen to them over the phone or review their work if you have them cold calling, or you want to review their admin work until you know that you can trust that they know what they're doing, and do a weekly training. You want to manage it every day, and then you want to do a weekly training, and you also want to give them feedback every day if you do notice something. Virtual assistants, supervision. VAs do need supervision. Even if you've had them for like a year, you will notice that they will see what they can get away with. They're always testing their boundaries. So use something like Upwork or even a time clock where you can see their keystrokes, and you can also see screenshots of the work they've done. Listen to their calls, double check their work, give constant feedback. It's very important. Another thing that I didn't put in here is that VAs are people. Don't just treat them like they're this robot out there doing work for you. They're people. So get to know them, get to know what their goals are. In a lot of third world countries that these VAs come from, they can't get mortgages. They don't have those kind of options in those countries. They actually have to buy their house cash. That's why you'll see a big difference between the rich and the poor, and there's not a lot of middle class because they don't have the structure for a middle class. So these people would have to have like $20,000 before they could even have their own home. For us as wholesalers, $20,000 isn't that much money. For them, it's a lot. So if they're a really good VA and you know that's what their goal is, you can have it set that if at the end of the year they've brought in this much stuff, you will help them buy a house. Maybe you even owner finance it to them. You buy the house and then they make payments. You can come up with different solutions, or they like iPhones over $1,000 bonus. You want to figure out what it is that they like, what their goals are, and how they want recognition. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's just giving them a pat on the back. You need to get to know your virtual assistants so you can give them that while they're working for you, and they'll be more loyal to you. When to fire. After training and giving feedback, if you don't see much of an improvement or if you notice a bad attitude, I would fire somebody right away with a bad attitude. You can't fix attitude. It'll come up again and again because it's a habit. It's something that they've developed, and it's going to take them time to get past that. But you can mention it the first time, but you may notice that is just the way they handle things. After 2 weeks and they're just not getting it, let them go, but be looking for a new VA while they're still doing some work for you so that you can replace them right away and it doesn't affect your business. You can give them a little severance pay if you feel bad about letting them go right away, but anybody who's a bad fit for your business, you're also a bad fit for them too. Just know that you're not harming them. You're actually sending them on their way so they can find a better fit for them. And you can also find a better fit for you. That is the end of our virtual assistant. And this is pretty much the first hire that I would recommend. So that's why we added a few exercises in the beginning on some foundation of when to hire and the book traction and your core values. If you guys have any questions, please comment in our Facebook group. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And if you guys have any ideas of any other videos or feedback that you have about the course, please let us know. Well, you guys have a great day. Thank you.